And that sauce has got really kind of like really beautiful, sweet, sour, salty thing going with the noodles. It really works very well. Pad Thai Youth. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Flavour Fridays. It's Cher here. We've got Pad Thai Youth, so with beef today. So heating up my wok just ever so slightly, so it's nice and smoking hot because I'm going to be cooking off my beef. But first of all, I want to sort of talk you through what I did earlier. So first off, I did my chilies in vinegar, so some Thai spur chilies, just kind of thinly sliced, and then straight into white wine vinegar just to steep. That's your Thai style chilies in vinegar. Next up, just chopped up some garlic. That was about 4 cloves in there, as well as some choy sam. Now, traditionally, it would have been gailan or jielan in Mandarin, but couldn't get hold of some today, so I'm just gonna go with some choy sam, something crunchy. You could possibly use things like kale, bok choy works really well as well, and also some finely sliced beef, just kind of about 1/2 centimeter in thickness, just across the grain. You always want to slice across the grain because it just makes the meat a little bit more tender to the bite when you are eating your beef, okay? And one thing also before I forget, the sauce. So in the sauce, I put in some caster sugar as well as some light soy sauce. There was also some dark soy sauce in there, so that's your Thai black soy sauce, in fact. If you can't find Thai black soy sauce, then simply use a dark soy. It's absolutely fine. Just make sure you just kind of go easy on that because dark soy can be a lot saltier than Thai black soy sauce. The last couple of things that went in, we had some Golden Mountain seasoning sauce as well as some oyster sauce, some fish sauce. So Golden Mountain seasoning sauce, that's what this looks like. This is like the secret arsenal or the secret weapon you have in your larder if you're doing a lot of Thai style noodle dishes or stir fries. This stuff is really, really good. If you can't get hold of this, you can also use Maggi seasoning sauce. If you can't get hold of either, that's absolutely fine. Just a little bit of more of the light soy sauce is totally fine.
If you're across the pond and you want to cook stir fries like a professional, don't worry, we've got you covered. Click the link in the top right and it will take you to buy your own School of Wok Wok in the US Amazon store. Now available.
First off, because it is a Chinese style stir fry, it is going to require a fairly hot wok, okay, which is slightly different from how you might otherwise do a Thai stir fry, which will be less of an intense heat, but this is a Chinese style, so we're going with fairly hot wok. We're just going to get a little bit of oil down into the wok. Get that nice and hot. Now, beef goes in. I'm just spreading the beef out a little bit so that it's makes sort of nice contact with the wok so that I can get a little bit of char and a bit of cooking going. Did you get that? Not that hot. Is it that hot?
I'm slaughtering.
Are you? Right, so beef has had about a minute. It's a really, really quick one. You just want to cook it just so that the beef is cooked through, but just barely cooked, okay? You don't want it too overcooked, if that makes sense, because otherwise that'll be very, very dry beef, and let's face it, no one wants dry beef, okay? And then what goes back on the heat, still on a high heat, about a couple of tablespoons of oil in there. And now the garlic can go in. So really watch your garlic as it cooks. You don't want it to burn. Burnt garlic smells horrible, tastes horrible, tastes really bitter, so just don't do it, okay? And once it starts to go a little bit brown, crack in your eggs. So 2 eggs in here. And we're just gonna really quickly scramble up the eggs. And so they're just about done, and then straight in with your vegetable of choice. Nice sort of folding through with your spatula. We're just going to give it about sort of 20 to 30 seconds. It doesn't take long for you to cook down the choy sam or the kai lan. Next up, we're just gonna make a little bit of space in the wok, just push away the vegetables and in go the noodles. So today, we are using fresh ho fun noodles because we are able to get them from Chinatown because Chinatown's just about 5 minutes walk from here. But if you can't get hold of fresh rice noodles, then dried rice noodles work just as well. They will just need to be soaked in some water to soften before you can work with them. But that's absolutely fine. Now, ho fun noodles, a little bit thinner than what I would normally use for a pad see ew, because a pad see ew noodle is probably the thickness of about a pappardelle noodle. So I don't really mind. It's fresh. Next up, the sauce can go in now. So that's my made up sauce with the oyster sauce, dark soy, also light soy, and also some sugar. Just gonna stir that through now. Still on high heat, not turned down my heat because I want some nice charring here. So what's happening essentially, the sauce is getting absorbed by the noodles and that heat is slowly just driving away all of that moisture from the noodles. And in about a minute, it's going to start to char, and that's exactly what we want in a pad see ew or even a hor fun stir-fry sort of situation. That char will give your rice noodles a really nice sort of wok hay, or sometimes referred to as the breath of the wok. So just gonna leave that for now, let it sort of sit there for about a few seconds. So we've had a couple of minutes where the noodles have been charring a little bit, and I've just kind of mixed them around a little bit as well. So from the bottom up, and then just kind of allow the noodles to, from the top to go right down to the bottom and then get that charring going again. Beef can go back in. Let's give that a really good stir because then the sauce and the flavors from the noodles can kind of mix through with the beef as well. And then that's done, so time to plate up. And then we'll just finish by garnishing with the pickled chilies. So you want to kind of fish out the chilies. And also you can use the vinegar and sort of sprinkle it all over the noodles if you like. Let's go for it! I want to stick my face in this. Oh, look at that. Nice combination of sauces. Can't go wrong with it. Not if Thai people love it. I mean, if Thai people love it, if it's good enough for Thai people, it's good enough for us.